Good morning, students. Class 10th, Civics, Social Science, chapter number 7, the last and final chapter, Outcomes of Democracy. How do we assess democracy's outcome? How can we check the results of democracy, the benefits of democracy? Do you remember how students in Madam Lingdo's class argued about democracy? This was in chapter 2nd of class 9th textbook. It emerged from that conversation that democracy is a better form of government when compared with the dictatorship and other forms of government. When we compare the democracy with other forms of government such as dictatorship, such as monarchy, such as communism, socialism, and many other forms of government, when we compare the democracy with them, the results of the democracy, the outcomes of democracy are better than all those other forms of governments. We felt that democracy was a better. Why we feel? What is the reason behind it? Why democracy is a better form of government in comparison to others? Because, number one, democracy promotes equality among citizens. So, number one advantage, number one benefit. Why it is better? Because it promotes equality among the citizens. It never encourages discrimination among the citizens. Number two, enhances the dignity of individual. It gives authority, it gives opportunity to every citizen to come ahead and express his views. That is, to enhance his own, the dignity of the citizens. Number three, improves the quality of decision making. Because there is a number of steps to be, before a decision is finalized, it has to be passed through various strata, to various levels of government. Then only that particular decision is finalized after proper refinement. That is the reason the decision, quality of decision making is perfect in democracy. It is any decision, if it is finalized, it has to be passed by through various levels of checking, rechecking. First of all, the decision is passed in the parliament after discussion with the opposition parties and other political parties. Then if a consensus is there, then only that particular decision is finalized and it is sent to the President of India. Then President of India read it carefully and then for an overview, for a review of that particular decision, it sends it back to the parliament so that they may recheck it. Once if it is signed by the president, it is finalized. Therefore, if there is any loophole or if there is any mistake or if there is any correction to be done in that particular decision, kindly recheck it, otherwise it is going to become a final law. Then again, the parliament, after discussion, after reviewing, after proper refinement, it sends it back to the president and president signs it and then it becomes a final decision. Therefore, it improves the quality of decision making. Otherwise, if you see in dictatorship, in communalism, in socialism, there is no such process of refinement of decisions. The words of the ruler are final. The word of the king in monarchy becomes law. Nobody can overrule them, nobody can argue them. But here in democracy, it gives sufficient chance to scrutinize a particular decision, a discussion is there, criticism is there, then only that particular decision is finalized. Number four, provides a method to resolve conflicts. So there is a judiciary in that, in the different forms of government. Judiciary sees that if there is no any conflicts, if any conflict is there, it is to be settled down by the High Court, the Supreme Court, the apex court of our country. Allows room to correct mistakes. It gives sufficient room, sufficient time, sufficient duration to correct one's mistake. So that's why These are the 5 major reasons why democracy is a better form of government in comparison to other. Are these expectations realized under democracy? When we talk to people around us, most of them supports democracy against other alternatives, such as a rule by monarch or military or religious leaders, but not so many of them would be satisfied with the democracy in practice. So we face a dilemma. Democracy is seen to be good in principles, but felt to be not so good in practice. In words, on papers, democracy is thought to be a very good form of government, but when it comes in practice, when it is in implementation, then we see that it is not so good. This dilemma invites us to think hard about the outcomes of democracy. That's why this dilemma, this confusion, whether it is a better form of government or in practice it is not. A dilemma is there. Therefore, it confuses the citizens whether the democracy is a good form of government or not. A dilemma is there. Do we prepare democracy only for moral reasons, or are there some prudential reasons to support democracy too? Are there some moral reasons are only there, or some prudential reasons are there to support democracy? Over 100 countries of the world today claim and practice some kind of democratic politics. They have formal constitution, they hold election, they have parties, and they guarantee rights of citizens. While these features are common to most of them, these democracies are very much different from each other in terms of their social situations, their economic achievements, and their culture. Though the democracy is there in many countries, most of the countries today are democratic or they are striving. Those who are not, they are moving toward democracy. But there you see that different form of democracies in different countries. Clearly, what may be achieved or not achieved under each of these democracies will be very different. But is there something that we can expect from every democracy just because it is democracy? Our interest in the fascination for democracy often pushes us into taking a position that democracy can address all socio-economic and political problems. It can resolve all type of problems, all type of socio-economic or political problems do have a resolution in democracy, do have solution in democracy. If some of our expectations are not met, we start blaming the idea of democracy, or we start doubting if we are living in a democracy. The first step toward thinking carefully about the outcomes of democracy is to recognize that democracy is just a form of government. It is just a form of government. To work according to the ethics, to work according to the constitution is the soul. Constitution is the soul of the democracy. It can only create conditions for achieving something. It prepares the situation, it prepares the environment. Democracy prepares the suitable environment for the achievements of the goal. The citizens have to take advantage of those conditions and achieve those goals. Let us examine some of these things we can reasonably expect from democracy and examine the record of democracy. Democracy is accountable, responsive, and legitimate government. These are the 3 basic features, tests, you can say tests, hypotheses on which democracy is justified or not. Democracy is good or not. First test of democracy is accountable. Second test is responsive. And the third is the legitimate government. There are some things that democracy must provide. In a democracy, we are most concerned with ensuring that people will have the right to choose their rulers and people will have control over the rulers. That is, the definition says, democracy by the people, for the people, and to the people. Whenever possible and necessary, citizens should be able to participate in decision making that affects them all. Therefore, the most basic outcome of democracy should be that it produces a government that is accountable to the citizen and responsive to the needs and expectations of the citizen. That it is accountable, जिम्मेदार है citizens के लिए, or responsive to the needs, or it responds, the form of government responds to the expectation, it lives up to the expectations of the citizens. Before we go into this question, we face another common question. Is the democratic government efficient? The democratic government, is it efficient or not to govern the citizens? To live up to the expectations of the citizens. Not to govern, but to live up to the expectations. It is effective. Some people think that democracy produces less effective government. It is of course true that non-democratic rulers do not have to bother about deliberation in assemblies or worry about the majorities and public opinion. Whereas non-democratic countries are there, they do not pay any attention toward the feeling, to the options, to the needs and requirements of the citizens. Whereas the democracy gives chance sufficient time, duration, as we see in the five most important features of democracy. Why it is better form of government? Democracy is based on the idea of deliberation and negotiation. Deliberation and negotiation to resolve something, to search out the solution for any problem of the citizens. There is a deliberation and a negotiation, and solution is there. So, some delay is bound to take place. Therefore, due to these deliberations, due to these negotiations, due to this process, the decision making, the results do delay, but the results or the decisions are well refined. Does that make democratic government inefficient? No, not. Let us think in terms of costs. Imagine a government that may take decisions very fast. If the government takes decisions very fast, it means there is no any option, there is no any idea of people, there is no any concern of the citizens. Decisions may be delayed but must be very well refined and balanced. But it may take decisions that are not acceptable by the people and may therefore face problems. So what is the result if decisions are taken quickly, without any discussion, without any scrutiny, without any criticism, without any discussion, without any consensus, then it may go against the citizen and as well as against the government also. In contrast, democratic government will not take more time to follow procedures before arriving at a decision, but because it follows procedure, its decision may be both more acceptable to the people and more effective. So the cost of time that democracy plays is perhaps worth it. Now look at the other side of democracy, and so the decision making will be based on norms and procedures. Of course, in democracy, the decisions are not taken in haste, but decisions are finalized after a proper procedure. So a citizen who wants to know if the decision was taken through the correct procedure can find this out. She has the right and the means to examine the process of decision making. This is known as transparency. If the decisions are taken in any manner, according to the procedure, according to a proper system, the citizens do have a right to look into the matter, how the decisions are finalized. That is what you call transparency. Transparency, pardarshi. Transparency, you can ask the question, how, why and when. That is called transparency. In front of, nothing is hidden, nothing is under the curtain, behind the curtain. Everything is open for the citizens. This is known as transparency. This factor is often missing from non-democratic government, and this factor of transparency is not there in any other form of government except democracy. Therefore, when we are trying to find out the outcomes of democracy, it is right to expect democracy to produce a government that follows procedures and is accountable to the people. We can also expect that the democratic government develops a mechanism for citizens to hold the government accountable and a mechanism for the citizen to take part in decision making whenever they think fit. It gives sufficient time to the people to participate in the decision making. How they participate? They participate in the decision making process through their representatives, members of Lok Sabha, those who are elected by the people. If you wanted to measure democracies on the basis of this expected outcome, you would look for the following practices and institutions: regular, free, fair election, open public debates, and major policies and legislations. The citizens' right to information about the government and its functioning, that is transparency. That is what you call transparency. The actual performance of democracy shows the mixed record on this. Democracies have a greater success in setting up a regular and free election and in setting up conditions for public debates. But most democracies fall short of election that provides a fair chance to everyone and in subjecting every decision to public debate. Democratic government do not have a very good record when it comes to sharing information with citizens. Why? All one can say in favor of democratic regimes is that they are much better than any non-democratic regime in these respects. The democratic governments do not have very good record when it comes to sharing information with citizens. Yes, it is on the back foot when it is said that the informations are not shared with the citizens, but still there is some percentage of information which are shared with the citizens. That is why it is still a better form of government than the non-democratic governments. In substantive terms, it may be reasonable to expect from democracy a government that is attentive to the needs and demands of the people and is largely free of corruption. You can't say that it is not free, it is free of corruption, it is never. That is why democracy here gives authority to the people, and the people take the authority, take the freedom as a granted, and do commit some wrong methods and procedures such as corruption. The record of democracy is not impressive on these two accounts. Which are those two accounts? The term it may be reasonable to expect from democracy a government that is attentive to the needs of the demands of the people. It is attentive toward the demand of the people, number one, and number two, it is free of corruption. These are the two aspects where the democracy is not up to the mark, up to the expectations of the people. The record of the democracy is not impressive on these two accounts. Democracies often frustrate the need of the people and often ignore the demand of majority of its population. The routine tales of corruption are enough to convince us that democracy is not free from this evil, from these two evils. The first, it is not attentive toward the requirement to the needs, aspirations of the people, and second, it is free of corruption. These are the two main defects you can see. At the same time, there is nothing to show that non-democracies are less corrupt or more sensitive to the people. Therefore, it must not be taken as granted. It must not be assumed that in comparison to democracy, the non-democratic countries also have these type of defects, also have these types of mistakes, these types of problems. That is, those non-democratic countries are also not free from corruption, and they are also not paying any attention toward the aspirations of the people. There is one respect in which democratic government is certainly better than its alternative. Democratic government is legitimate government. It may be slow, less efficient, not always very responsive or clean, but a democratic government is people's own government, formed by the people, for the people and to the people. That is what you say, legitimate. That is why there is an overwhelming support for the ideas of democracy all over the world, because it is according to the concern of the people, it is formed, it is by the government is, the democratic government is for the people and by the people and to the people. Therefore, we say that democracy is a better form of government. As the accompanying evidence from South Asia shows, the support exists in the countries with democratic regimes as well as the countries without democratic regimes. People wish to be ruled by representatives elected by them. They also believe that democracy is suitable for their country. Democracy's ability to generate its own support is itself an outcome and cannot be ignored. So we can say, after these discussions, we can say that in spite of having some defects, you can say some lagouts in democracy, we still say that democracy is formed by the government, by the people. People participate in the formation of a democratic type of government. Therefore, in comparison to the other forms, it is still better, in spite of having some mistakes, in spite of having some defects in it. Economic growth and development. Okay, we are going to start this particular topic tomorrow. That is the economic growth and development. What about the economic growth and development in democracy? There is one argument against it is going against the democracy, that the economic development and growth under democracy is slow as compared to the other forms of government. In dictatorship, you see that the government is military government, dictatorship, you can say. People don't have any role to play in that, in decision making. Therefore, whatever decisions are taken by dictator form of government, dictatorial regimes, you see that the economic growth is better than the democratic government in such countries. See, the China is almost a dictator type of government. Therefore, the development is more, because people in democracy ought to take freedom. They take freedom. They take freedom as guaranteed, and they are not doing proper work. And under dictatorship, such things are not tolerated. That is why the economic growth, the development is more in dictatorial regimes as compared to the democratic country. But still, democracy, we say that it is the people's own choice. Otherwise, why the people opted the democratic form of government? Dictatorial rule is not followed, not liked by the citizens. So we are going to start this particular topic, economic growth and development in democracy and non-democratic country. What is the comparison? What is the result in both of these different forms of government that goes against the democratic form of government? But still, we are going to produce reasons why democratic government, form of government, is still better. Okay, see you tomorrow. Thank you.